YouTube, here with a new video, new channel. We got this trend is going to get someone killed by August the Duck. Let's check it out. Let's see what trend he's talking about. Me personally, I don't be too in the loop with trends, but this is what we're here for. We're here to get in the loop.
Guys, something keeps happening in the streaming world, something that it seems like streamers are like allergic to not doing. And seriously, I think if something doesn't change soon, whether that's like the platform stepping in or lawmakers stepping in, we are gonna see some real bad shit happen. And when I say that, I mean, I think people are probably gonna start dying soon. Some things just go together beautifully, like chocolate and strawberries, performative men and matcha lattes, and streamers driving like a complete berries.
You are making fancy instant noodles? Bro, what does that even
Performative
mean?
men and matcha lattes, and streamers driving like complete fucking dumbasses, endangering the lives of everyone around them in the name of content. Seriously though, it feels like every
driving while
week we are
streaming.
hearing about a different streamer going out and live streaming themselves committing some sort of crazy traffic crime with absolutely no consequences whatsoever. And it just keeps happening. We've watched streamers run red lights because they were too busy reading chat. We've seen TikTokers kill people because they were too busy staring at their phone trying to be on a TikTok live. We've seen losers crash McLarens while they were trying to read chat and then try to turn it into a clip. Like, at some point, somebody's got to put their foot down. Because as long as it's something that gets people talking, it's gonna be something that these streamers do. Because if we've learned anything about the streaming world over these last few years, it's that it's an industry that has taken the phrase "there's no such thing as bad publicity" to heart more so than any other industry on the fucking planet. These guys will literally do anything if it gets them in the headlines for a few hours. And that sort of mindset leads to the kind of shit we're talking about today, which is the streamer Silky cutting up in traffic on his stream the other day with absolutely zero consequences whatsoever. Now, if you've never heard of this guy, he is not a small streamer whatsoever. He has over 1 million followers on Twitch. He's the 248th most popular streaming channel in the world right now. Yet that doesn't stop him from driving like an idiot who just got his license for no other reason than, I guess, to try and impress his chat, which I will admit, pretty noble cause. But seriously, at some point, something needs to be done. As you can see from the clip, not going to be playing the audio because he doesn't really say anything anyways, and it's just copyrighted music. But he's cutting and weaving through traffic at what appears to be like double the speed limit. Not to mention, he's kind of just like bad at it. He doesn't seem like a very good driver. And he's doing this while live with his face fully visible on his public Twitch account that everybody knows is his. And still, he faces absolutely zero consequences whatsoever. And it just blows my fucking mind that these guys are able to get away with this. This kind of shit is beyond reckless. And if you drive like this, you should not be allowed to have a license. You should not be allowed to be behind the wheel of a car. And more importantly, really, because obviously in practice, all those things are already true. Like, depending on where he lives, if he got pulled over doing this, he very well could lose his license. It's just about the enforcement of it. So really, what's more important to me right now is that...
You know what's crazy? The cameraman putting the camera on his face. Don't ask how I know, but the camera putting the camera on his face with all that light, that shit will fuck him up more than anything, bro. Cause all that light in his face, all he's trying to focus and drive.
Streaming platforms start cracking down on this shit. Like, honestly, what is it gonna take? Like, is there gonna have to be a streamer with 2 million followers who T-bones a car and kills a backseat full of kids before Twitch does anything about this? Like, is that what it's gonna take? Because that's kind of what it's starting to seem like. In my opinion, streaming in your car at all should be against the terms of service of any reputable streaming website. Obviously, doing something like this should get you banned for good. There is no reasonable defense for any streaming platform allowing shit like this on their websites. This is how people die. Your brain plays a lot of funny tricks on you when you're operating a vehicle, partially just because it has to keep you sane. But car accidents are a leading cause of death across the country, and in a lot of cities where like traffic is real bad and the populations are real dense and very car dependent, it is often the leading cause of death. And people don't really want to think about that when they're driving, so they sort of let the fact that they are driving a 4,000-pound missile around slip their mind. And it's especially bad with fast luxury cars. If you're heavy into the car scene, I'm sure you've seen something like this. I feel like everybody has. Somebody gets their first nice car, especially something like this guy is driving.
It don't even gotta be a nice car, bro. That's the crazy part about it. It don't even gotta be a nice car. You're cutting up with no seatbelt, death speed run. That's a fact. But look, bro. It don't even gotta be a nice car, bro. It could like just be some teenager in his first car. Don't ask how I know. Just wanted to feel some rush, bro. Just not knowing how dangerous it really is, you know.
an
Don't even gotta be a
AMG,
nice
which is
car.
going to help you out a lot and make you feel like you're a better driver than you are, and it makes them forget about all that shit even quicker. And it leads to idiots doing shit like this. You've got a guy who anybody who's been around real drivers can tell is a shit driver, thinking he's invincible cutting and weaving through traffic, and saying shit like this.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, one day I'm gonna have to do some crazy shit. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I ain't gonna lie, I should really hop on like an alt account and just go teach women. Like, the first day I got this call back.
Writing a book is hard. Knowing if it's good, even harder. Meet manuscript analysis.
I don't know if I was on some drug.
They're saying do it on Patreon.
Oh, I could do it on Patreon?
Alright, so just so we're all on the same page here, this is one of the most popular streamers on Twitch right now who 5 minutes before all this was live streaming himself committing traffic crime.
I don't understand. So when you have your car like this, your car seat like this, does not feel weird? I'm gonna adjust mine to stick out like that, because mine sits flat against the seat in the socket. Like, well, I drive an SUV, so it's like on top, but it doesn't stick out like this. Does that like
And
actually
possibly even traffic felonies, also admitting that he drives recklessly while he's under the influence of drugs, and then floating the idea of making a Patreon, or using his existing Patreon maybe, I don't know, to upload videos of himself committing more traffic crimes. Are we fucking serious, Twitch? Like really, is this just what we're doing now? Is this just what the modern streaming world is gravitating towards? Is every platform just gonna slowly devolve into doing nothing but housing degeneracy like Kick or Rumble? Like historically, we've always given Twitch a lot of shit, you know, especially for how the site's been run, but that's because it hasn't always been that way. It's kind of the same thing as to why YouTube catches so much flack. It's because these are good platforms. You know, nobody expects like a higher standard of moderation and like creators being held accountable on Kick. We just know that's not the case, so nobody really cares about it. But when we have Twitch, the face of modern streaming, allowing people to do this, allowing their big streamers to do this, it's like, what the fuck's going on? And again, it just goes back to my question, what is it gonna take? Like if Silky was trying to cut around somebody and they slammed on their brakes and he rear-ended them, would that have been enough? Would that have just been like a 1-week ban, a 2-week ban, a slap on the wrist? What if he injured them? Would it be more serious then? Maybe a month? And like, look, don't get me wrong, I understand that the moderation of a live streaming platform has to be different than pretty much like any other kind of social media platform because it's live. You can't edit it, you can't really like go back and take things out. And that's why we have this sort of culture on Twitch where like if something happens, you typically get a 1 or 2 day ban, because a lot of the times these streamers are getting banned for things that aren't like fully their faults, but they're also not like completely innocent either. It's just kind of a different situation. But these sorts of things are not part of that. Going out of your way to film yourself cutting through traffic is a very deliberate thing. I mean, I scrubbed through some of the frames of this live stream, and there are times where he's going over 100 miles an hour. And based off this sign, I was able to figure out he was driving on the 101 in LA right here, which the section he was driving on has a speed limit of 65, and when he took that exit to go right, it turns into 55, and it's also one of the busiest fucking highways in America. I mean, that is multiple criminal charges, and that took me maybe 5 minutes. Highways in America. I mean, that is multiple criminal charges.
First 30-year-old to wear pimple patch. Timu Benz is crazy, but first 30-year-old to wear pimple patch. He might be right, bro. I don't think I've ever seen anybody over the age of like 25 really use a pimple patch, especially a man. I don't think men are wearing pimple patches over 30, bro.
And that took me maybe 5 minutes to figure out. Now, I don't really expect the cops to do much in this situation because they never really do anything about stuff like this. You know, unless you hurt somebody or you're doing shit like this every single day, it seems like they never really pursue stuff like this based off video evidence. You know, it also gets a little foggy proving that somebody did something. I don't really think it would be in this scenario, considering you can see this guy's face, you can see his speedometer, you can see where he is. But my point is, while the cops probably won't do anything, Twitch absolutely should. If Twitch does not put their foot down at some point, this is going to end up getting somebody killed. And even if it ends up being the streamer who's going out and making the conscious decision to do this, it's still a really bad look. If it ends up being an innocent third party, things get a whole lot fucking worse. And seriously, I just cannot understand why that is a risk that Twitch is willing to.
I know I'm watching this chat a little bit, but it's because like I just want to see how people be thinking. Revit, Zaddy, Fa, and a Ra and a Vroom. when I start streaming for real, bro, if anybody's in my chat talking like this, bro, I can't lie, you're probably gonna get banned. I'm not letting people talk like this in my chat, bro.
Cannot understand why that is a risk that Twitch is willing to take. You know, this does not seem like something that would cause controversy. If you watch the chat back while Silky is driving, like half the people watching are saying, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Don't do this. This is a bad look. I just genuinely cannot wrap my head around what is stopping Twitch from being like, hey, if you film yourself recklessly driving, we're gonna ban you. There are no negatives. No sane, reasonable person is gonna...
Like, realistically, I feel like if you're driving and your cameraman has chat on his phone while he has the camera on you, and he's just keeping the camera on you while like looking at chat and saying anything that's like worth saying, and y'all just like casually talking, like if you're just chilling in the car with the homie or something, I feel like that's chill. Like there shouldn't be like anything wrong with that if you're just chill driving, of course. But it's like the fact that they're speeding while looking at chat, while talking and looking at cameraman, while speeding, looking at chat, talking and looking at cameraman. Like, that's too much stimulation going on. Like, something, you're not going to catch something on the road, you know what I mean? On top of that, you're listening to music, trying to change the song too. Like, there's just too much going on. You're trying to address every comment you're seeing, maybe. You're trying to read almost every comment you're seeing. Like, this, it's too much going on to be doing all that while driving recklessly. Like, you got the zoomies? See if he passes by. I don't know, bro. Got the zoomies, I guess. Alright, let's finish this video.
Push back against that. It's gonna protect Twitch, it's gonna protect their streamers, it's gonna protect innocent people just trying to get somewhere. Like, it's a win-win-win. There are no negatives. I don't get it. Really, I guess it shouldn't surprise me all that much, given that Twitch is the platform of questionable decisions, but I mean, this just seems so cut and dry that it's tripping me up. Somebody is going to end up dead because of this, and I believe that a small portion of the blame is gonna end up being owed to Twitch. Well, guys, what are your thoughts? Like I said, I really can't wrap my head around what might be stopping Twitch from just like doing a blanket ban on this. Seriously, like, it doesn't seem like there would be a single downside to being like, hey, you can't film yourself committing traffic crimes. That seems like a pretty reasonable rule to implement. And the only people it would affect are people you probably don't want using your platform anyway. So it just seems like a no-brainer to me. I don't get it. And honestly, I really do think it's only a matter of time until their hand is forced. Until something tragic happens and they have to do it, and people a lot more important than me start looking at clips like this and asking Twitch, hey, why didn't you do this sooner? What a bright future. See ya.
It makes sense though. It makes sense though. But look, y'all, that's my opinion on this. I'm gonna catch y'all next video, man.